my gosh, you guys. I missed all of you. I'm back. I'm back. I missed a week. It was a long week. I will get into that soon, but I'm very excited to be back today to just share what I've been consuming as of late. And jumping right into music as always to begin with, I had to say goodbye to my lovely HHR, my vehicle. It about a week ago, if you get the reference, if you know, you know. About a week ago, actually almost 2 weeks ago, it just gave out on me. Something happened. It wasn't worth it anymore for me to drive it. I got a new car, which is so exciting. But in memoriam, I decided to make a collection on Apple Music, which is a new feature. You can put playlists into a folder. And it's called, from this one specifically, is HHR playlists. There's about 35 playlists that I would have from age 15 and a half to I think 17. I did drive this car longer, but I refined my music taste and refined the things. This was an exploratory period for me. I had previously Pandora Radio as my main source of music, as well as YouTube, but I got a subscription to Apple Music when I was 15 and a half, and I just went buck wild. I was just exploring so much music, and I was able to make playlists and really curate my listening. I screenshotted six, I almost said four, six playlists that I want to show off, it's a glimpse into who I was as a teenager. So starting off 2017, that was before I could drive. I got my temps at the end of that year, but I made this playlist as a nostalgic playlist because in 2017, I would listen to, oh my gosh, I would consider it emo. It was like punk rock. I don't even know if it was punk rock. It was pop rock. It was All American Rejects, The Killers, Uncle Kracker's on there, as you can see. That's very interesting. That was because my Pandora uh, station of choice was like 2000s hits, and he was definitely a rotating artist for that playlist. Um, 2017 was an era for me, and I think I made that when I was like 17, 18. No, it depends. It was just, I knew those songs were for sure played on those speakers of that HHR, so I wanted to add that to this. Fall 2018. This was like the beginning of my monthly playlist journey. It was mostly like a seasonal thing, so I had a lot of fall related songs. I guess that's what I was trying to go for. As you can see, I have Nirvana by Sam Smith. That was part of their EP from the early 2010s. That song is great. If you like Sam Smith, give it a chance. Listen to it. Bubble Toes by Jack Johnson. That was because I was watching Glee at that time and they performed that on Glee, I'm pretty sure. Youngblood by 5 Seconds of Summer. I hear that song and I'm instantly back driving to school on a foggy, rainy October morning in my HHR. Youngblood was playing for sure. And then Frankie Valli, Can't Take My Eyes Off of You. So that was certainly a TikTok. Well, actually, it was musically, which became TikTok. It was like the death of musically. Anyway, that song was playing on my feed a lot, so I had to put that in there. That was, and it was truly an era. I'm pretty sure I made like a winter 2018, which was like November, December. So I don't know. It was just my vibes. It was not great music. I mean, from my perspective now, but I really enjoyed it at 16. And then next to it, I have a playlist entitled Oddballs. And you're probably like, what? That's a really weird way to describe a playlist. Well, going from a listener of pop rock, thinking that was emo, I transitioned to indie rock, or it wasn't even indie. I think it's just indie itself. I thought I was so quirky. I'm like, I'm not like anybody else. Nobody is like me. I'm so unique. It was Wallows. It was Alt J, which I'm not sure. There's some obscure bands on this playlist. I will give myself credit, but it wasn't. I don't think it qualified as oddballs now. I mean, certainly it was when I was 16. So that was my beginning of like listening to not mainstream music, and that's kind of stuck with me. But I can't help but laugh at. Just like thinking that I was so unique and quirky for that. playlist called Jams to Jam to. Really good at thinking of names here. This was like summer 2018. I I'm trying to think of, I don't know if it was exactly summer 2018. I think it was because the bottom song on that playlist, or at least the screenshot, says When I Kiss the Teacher. It's the Mamma Mia 2 soundtrack, and that came out that summer. So that certainly was a thing. But if you can notice, all of the playlist covers are the album covers from the first four songs in the playlist. So for Jams to Jam to, I was going for a white aesthetic. So I picked songs that had a white album cover: Bishop Briggs, River, No Good by Kaleo. I'm not sure if I pronounced that right. Breathe Me by Sia, and Silent All These Years by Tori Amos. I mean, there's no correlation between the four except that they have white in their album cover. River and No Good were both performed on American Idol that season of 2018, the early 2018. That was the resurgence of American Idol, and I watched every single episode. I was obsessed, and those two songs were performed. Breathe Me was just like a, I had that on my playlist, or other playlists, or just in my music library. And then Silent All These Years. That was played in a Netflix show with Sydney Sweeney that got canceled. What was it called? I have to Google. I'm so sorry. Sydney Sweeney. I have to look her up on Google. I'm not looking her up for that reason. Google probably thinks I'm weird. Yeah, Loki, she started off in this role that I'm going to bring up if I can find. I have my browser on my laptop is Microsoft Edge. I hate Microsoft Edge. I like Google. Shows. I have to put shows in. This was pre Euphoria. This was like, I want to say like her first, like her outbreak or breakout role. There I go. Sorry this is taking so long. I don't know how to navigate Microsoft. Oh, actually it's Bing. That's why. Oh my gosh, I can't figure out what it's called. What is it? What is it? What is it? Please help me. Please help me. I can't find it. It's The Possession of Sydney Sweeney. She's possessing me and she won't let me look up her show. Probably because she feels bad that she didn't stick to her roots without being sexualized on Euphoria. Okay, I'm going to Wikipedia. I'm over this. I'm so sick of this. Just to talk about one simple thing. 2018. That's movies, television. Oh my gosh. Everything sucks. If you were a Netflix watcher in 2018, Everything Sucks came out early that year. It stars Sydney Sweeney, and she's kind of like a lesbian character. I don't know. It was a really good show, and I loved it. And Silent All Those Years by Tori Amos played, and then the show was canceled. Whatever. All of that to say, I wasted so much of your time. I do apologize. That was just on a playlist I listened to when I was 18. Or no, 16. Sorry. Moving on to something more maybe understandable for the masses. If I'm in the car and I have to play, or if I have to act cool, that's the title of that playlist. Because I mean, I was listening to oddballs. I was listening to indie music. I'm like, nobody that I'm friends with, if I was on aux, they'd be like, "What are you listening to? This is boring. Change it." So I took it upon myself to make a playlist that was specifically for my friends, which is like just so kind and giving. It was all rap music. Ashnikko, Post Malone, that Broccoli song, and there were some joke songs on there. I'm pretty sure I put Baby Shark. Like, it was like, if I was personally asked to put, oh, whoa, brain fart. If I was personally asked to be on aux, that was the only playlist I was using. So, people pleaser, kind of. That was just the era. That was late 2010s rap music. Everyone liked it. And you know what? I I was serving the masses. Anyways, my last playlist is called Driving. As you can see, there's a Z in front of it. That was just because I didn't know how to organize my library and I wanted all of my old, outdated playlists to be at the bottom of the row. So I had to put Z's in front of them so they were all alphabetized. But basically, a driving playlist for me at 16 was a compilation of songs that I knew for a fact that I liked and my mom liked, so that when I was learning how to drive, when I was in my temps era, I don't know how else you would describe that, I could plug my phone in and I couldn't look at my phone. I would have gotten yelled at, of course, because I'm 15 and a half and I shouldn't be looking at my phone while I'm operating a vehicle. So I had to make sure that every song I knew every single word to, so I didn't have to pick up my phone and change the song. So there's some Adam Lambert, Adele, Billy Joel. It was great. My mom liked it, and I'm pretty sure there was 3 of those. But once I got my license, I could do whatever I wanted. So then I kind of explored other things as I talked about previously. But that is all for my HHR playlists. I'm going to miss that car. I grew up in that car. I explored my music taste in her. Wait, that sounds horrible. Okay, forget I said that. Anyways, let's talk about movies. Or no, sorry. I forgot the own order of my podcast. What the heck? I'm going to take a sip break just a second. I'm drinking a Diet Coke. What is in it? It's called the Daily Vice at the Soda Bar in Green Bay. If you haven't gone, you should. It is coconut cream and pineapple with Diet Coke. It is so delicious. I was just feeling a little parched. Talking to y'all. Anyway, on to TV. I have some thoughts about Bridgerton. I'm currently 30 minutes. Wait, no. Nope, I have about 30 minutes left of the last episode of part 1 of season 4. Yeah, I don't like that they're releasing it in parts. Stranger Things, I kind of understand. The hype is there, but for Bridgerton season 4, I just don't think it is. The first season stand out to me. It was great. Shonda Rhimes producing it, great. The world she's able to create is amazing. The first season was great. Season 2, equally, maybe even better. Loved the pining. I loved the plot for this. Season 3, basically, I watched the first part in 2024 when it came out, and then I forgot about it. I didn't care. I don't know how to articulate it the best way. I had to sit down and really think about my thoughts about Bridgerton. Nothing serious, by the way. This is all very casual. I just think that the hype isn't there for me personally. I know it is for some people. But now that I'm watching season 4, I don't care about Benedict. I mean, the first season was about Daphne. I mean, this was the first introduction to this world. It's iconic. Season 2 is Anthony, the oldest son, trying to find a wife. That's a big deal. And the whole marrying your sister or whatever, that was cool. Season 3, representation with Penelope. Love that. I love their relationship, their fictional relationship. I mean, again, like I just said, I was bored halfway through, so I didn't finish season 3 until a couple weeks ago. And now, I mean, Benedict was always just so obsolete to me. He was always doing his own thing. I'm not as invested in him. And from what I understand, each season is about each book, which each book is about a sibling. There's 7 siblings, I think. I don't know how to do math. But they put 2 siblings in season 3, so I don't know what they're doing. I can't read Netflix's mind. I don't know what's happening. But I'm sure the books are way more detailed. They offer way more it offers way more context to the family dynamic and different things, because now we don't even hear about Daphne. They don't talk about her. They don't talk about her life. Whereas in season 2, they're like, oh, she's here for an episode, then she's going away, which makes sense. We haven't seen Jonathan Bailey yet this season. I don't think we're gonna. I'm a person that if I'm watching a show with that much depth, I want to keep seeing it. I want it to be reoccurring, and that's just not the case. I put Queen Charlotte's movie poster, TV poster here because Queen Charlotte was so good. When that season came out, it was just like chef's kiss. It was great. It was a prequel to the Bridgerton series. So I don't know. It was great. I'm kind of just on the fence. I'm going to finish watching season 4. I'm going to watch all of it. I'm going to force myself because I am sitting there sometimes giggling like, ooh, but I'm not as invested as I once was with this show. So those are my thoughts. I love a good historical piece. But that's all. That's all I'm going to say for that topic. On to movies. This is a pretty big topic this week. I want to bring up Psycho Beach Party first before I get into the juicy things. And you're probably like, what on earth is Psycho Beach Party? Well, let me explain it to you. It is a movie that was released in 2000, but it was set in the 60s. It stars Lauren Ambrose. You're like, who on earth is that? Well, let me tell you, I didn't realize it was her until about 30 minutes in. It's the actress her name's Lauren Ambrose in real life. She plays adult Van in Yellow Jackets. Now, if you've listened to all my episodes, you understand how much Yellow Jackets means to me, how obsessed I was. So when I realized that was her 26 years younger, I was like, OMG. First, she's gorgeous. First, she's funny. I'm obsessed. I'm going to keep watching it because I was a little on the fence when I first started because it was, in fact, a Tubi movie. Tubi's great. It's a free service with ads. Sometimes there's really good movies and sometimes there's really bad movies, but this kept popping up on my excuse me. It kept popping up on my recommended, and I'm like, okay, just give it a chance. It is so campy. It is so funny. I'm really glazing right now, but I just love a campy, weird, stupid movie. If you've ever seen Criminal Minds, the main guy, his name's Thomas Gibson in real life. I don't know what character he plays. I haven't watched Criminal Minds in years, but he plays the older one. Younger, older one. Not what's his name? Oh my gosh, Spencer. He doesn't play Spencer or doesn't play the old guy. Anyway, it's just a good movie. Amy Adams is in it, bro. Amy Adams is a character in this movie. So anyway, it was just one off. I feel like it could have the potential to be as campy and a cult classic as like But I'm a Cheerleader, or I can't think of any other campy movies, cult classics. Oh, Death Becomes Her. It's just dumb and it's fun and it's stupid. It honestly was just like Teen Beach Movie. And guess what? Teen Beach Movie was not parodying. It just followed the vibes of the 60s beach craze. So that's that. It was a one off. I think I give it a 4.5 because it was that intriguing to me. But, as I've been saying, just watch bad movies. Watch movies that aren't Oscar nominated. Watch movies that just intrigue you and have fun and live a little. But speaking of Oscars, we're about a month away. Actually, a little over a month away. But I am being prepared and ready this year because the past years I haven't watched all of the Best Picture nominations and I missed out on accurate predictions. So there's 10 best movies nominated. I've seen all but 2. I the day my car broke, I went to see Sentimental Value, which is fantastic. I love Stellan Skarsgård. I love Elle Fanning. It's a familial tragedy comedy movie set in a beautiful house. I love using houses as backdrop to a story, and it went through time at certain points. It was showing, the inhabitants from this era, this era. Love, love, love that. That is right up my alley. The movie was heartbreaking and sad, and I cried a little bit. It was great. Before going to the theaters and seeing Sentimental Value, it was a re-release, by the way. Marcus Theaters was releasing Oscar noms. Before seeing Sentimental Value, I watched Train Dreams, which is on Netflix, and my thoughts are it's a good movie. I can see why it's nominated for Best Picture, but personally, it took me probably 4 hours to watch all of it, and it's like an hour and 45-minute long movie because I'd get bored and I would turn it off and want to scroll on my phone, which I know is bad, which is really bad. But it really didn't grab my attention as the other ones that I've seen. The other nominations, other than the 2 I haven't seen, are very captivating. And Train Dreams is essentially the man is a logger. He has to travel each season to go cut trees down in the 1800s because he's a part of that transportation revolution. And it's just a tragedy. Like, it's sad. Things happen in his life. It's not great. The ending, the last 5 minutes, made up for all of my boredom. It was just, it wrapped it up in a beautiful bow. I cried at the end. So, that's Train Dreams. I have yet to see F1, which is about cars. I heard the sound of it is really good. Like the sound production's really good, but I'm not looking forward to watching that. Let's just say that. But I'm committed to watching all of them. And then the other one I haven't seen is Secret Agent, which is a Brazilian film, I believe. I have not yet seen that. I'm hoping Marcus Cinema puts it in the theaters because I need to see it to collect them all. At this point, without seeing those 2, I really want Sinners to win. I've seen really great movies, but I think Sinners stands out in the writing, in the history, in the cinematography, in the music. It is like a step above all the movies. They're great movies. One battle after another. Oscar bait. Marty Supreme, Oscar bait. Begonia, love plot twist movies. But to me, Sinners has more elements and it was done so well. And I'm really hoping Marcus puts it in the theaters again so I can go watch it. I love Sinners, and it was the most nominated film I think of all time. It had 16 nominations, and I'm really scared that that's going to be the Academy's way to say you got your notice, you got your what's the word? I can't think of it. You got your acknowledgement with the 16 nominations, but you're not going to win. Sorry. So in my heart, I hope Sinners wins, but I have a feeling One Battle is going to win Best Picture. So put me on the record for that. That's what I think. And you're like, Emma, you haven't talked about Hamnet. Well, guess what? That's my next slide. Hamnet. I went to see it last night in the theaters. Going into it, I was like, I'm gonna hate it. I don't like Shakespeare. I think Shakespeare is something that everyone should have the opportunity and access to read it in school. And if you end up liking it, that's amazing. That's fantastic. But was just never the student who did well in the Shakespeare units, or enjoyed it. I mean, Romeo and Juliet, I kind of did because everyone knows that story, but that was freshman year. Sophomore year, I think we did The Crucible. Is that even? No, 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 no. I'm Googling Shakespeare stories because I want to be correct. Shakespeare plays. Okay. Sophomore year, what on earth did we do? I remember it was like a huge unit. Like it was for weeks. We did it for weeks. Um, just reading the screen. Okay. Okay. There's ads popping up. Okay. I love when that happens. I was just reading it and then it just bumped me down. Okay. Macbeth. Oh my gosh. See, good thing I love Google. Macbeth was sophomore year, and then junior year was The Crucible, which is not Shakespeare. Then senior year I took AP Lit, and then we did Hamlet. Hamlet. I learned that those two words are interchangeable because Hamnet is set in the late 1500s when Shakespeare was, or maybe, yeah, it was late 1800s. Sip. I'm taking a sip. Sorry, I'm so parched today. It's basically based on a novel that was written about Shakespeare's life. Because so much of history knows him for his plays, this is a story about his family. And I don't want to say it's about him. It's about his wife. It's about Agnes Hathaway. Anne Hathaway. The names are interchangeable with translation and stuff. It's about her. I mean, she's the reason why he had a family. I was so heated. Men make me mad sometimes. Agnes, Jessie Buckley, the actress who plays her. Jessie Buckley, I have never witnessed on the screen an actress more profound than her. I had no idea about anything about William Shakespeare, about Agnes Hathaway. I had no idea about personal life. She made me feel like I was living it. I hope she wins Best Actress. She needs to win. I could cry thinking about it. She's just so talented. Agnes is a very metaphysical, witchy woman, and she falls in love with William, and they have a baby out of wedlock, and that's not great. They were forced to get married, and then she falls pregnant again, and turns out it's twins. Where when she was a little girl, she was convinced that she was only going to have 2 children at her deathbed, meaning now she has 3 kids. So if she's a witch and she has this feeling inside of her, this premonition, that means one of the kids is going to die. And I also want to mention William was in London. Like he would leave her for months on end to go pursue his playwriting career. She was left to give birth to his children while he was gone. That made me so mad. So basically, yes, she has this set of twins, boy and a girl. The girl was always sick. She was just like, what's her name? Judith? Judith and Hamnet were born twins. Judith was always sick. She was just a sickly child. She fell ill, very ill as a little girl. She had the bubonic plague. I was Googling. I was like, I think they didn't explicitly say it was the bubonic plague. But I'm like, I have a feeling. And I Googled it in the movie theater, and then Google AI, which I'm not a supporter of. It was just the first thing that came up when I was trying to be quick in the theater. It says, "Are you asking out of curiosity, or are you concerned about symptoms related to recent travel or animal contact?" Google AI thought I was Googling bubonic plague symptoms because I had it. That made me laugh a lot. So the little girl, she had the plague, and her brother, her twin brother, laid next to her and said, "I'm not going to let him get you," him being death. "I'm not going to do it. I'm going to transfer my life to yours." So Agnes, like, she passed down her witchiness, which I love, passed that down to her children. And I mean, also, it's the 1500s and it's before the Age of Enlightenment. They didn't know a lot of things. They know some things, but they didn't know a lot of things because of the lack of knowledge of human beings. He said, "I'm going to take your sickness." And then he ended up dying. Spoiler alert. Sorry, it's the whole plot of the movie. Hamnet dies as a little boy. And Jessie Buckley holding her dead son. I mean, Agnes holding her dead son. I wouldn't even, as a person, I wouldn't know how to emulate that. She, as an actress, captured that so well. The screen became blurry. I just was like, are we for real right now? A death scene has never made me as, I don't know what the word is. I love that phrase, don't I? A death scene has never touched me that way. And it was so good. I really hope she wins Best Actress. Yeah, and then Hamlet, or nope, William goes on to write Hamlet about his dead kid, and she comes to see it, and she's like, "That's my little boy's name. Why are you talking about my little boy?" And then she, front row of the stage, watched in awe. She connected with the actor that played Hamlet. I'm not going to get into the nitty gritty. It was just so well done, and I was not expecting it at all. I gave it a 5 stars. I thought I was going to rate it like 2 or 3. Like, I'm like, okay, it's Best Picture. It's got to be good. Oh, yeah, it was good. Do I think it's capable of winning the Oscar? I don't know about that. I think Sinners is going to win. But, anyways, it was so good. I am so glad I went and saw it. I I love Jessie Buckley. That's my girl. Like, I love her. Wow. And Paul Mescal. Okay, you're there. He's just there. William Shakespeare, you're just there. I kind of hate you, actually. You're a man and I hate you. So, and Joe Alwyn is behind Jessie Buckley in that picture. Joe Alwyn. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. Your ex-girlfriend. Ugh, awkward. Anyway, I'm going to stop talking. That is all that I will speak about today. Upcoming things: Robin's album, Sex Essential, Wuthering Heights. I'll be seeing it in like a week from now. Euphoria season 2 still, and the Oscars. Yep, we're getting to that point where the Oscars is happening. So, thank you for listening. I appreciate your time, and as always, have a good rest of your day.